When it was discovered in 2004 that the asteroid Apophis could represent a threat to Earth, the news quickly spread. A hit by the 1,100-foot wide, 340-meter wide, asteroid 99,942, commonly known as an Near-Earth object, might cause considerable damage to Earth's surface. According to NASA, after analyzing the asteroid's trajectory during a distant flypast in March 2021, experts have determined that it will not threaten Earth for at least the next century. Scientists were initially uncertain as to whether or not Apophis's passage would result in a collision with Earth. This asteroid topped both NASA's Sentry risk table and the European Space Agency's impact danger list of PHAs for a combined total of 17 years, beginning in 1999. Space.com had earlier reported that scientists were unable to rule out the possibility of a collision during one of the asteroid's subsequent trips, even if the threat had been removed. Richard Binzel, a planetary scientist at MIT, claims that Apophis is one of the many PHAs, or potentially hazardous asteroids, whose paths bring them dangerously close to Earth in the present and in the decades to come. Apophis is the poster child for possibly hazardous asteroids, since it will approach the planet more closely than any other large asteroid this decade. Yet, these are the three most important things to know about Apophis. There will be no Apophis attack on Earth. Earth will be safely out of Apophis's way. Apophis will be sad to leave Earth. The email was sent to space.com. Although Apophis will not collide with Earth anytime soon, on April 13, 2029, it will come within 19,000 miles of our planet, 31,000 kilometers. If you want to get close to the Moon, you'd have to get 10 times closer than you would with a geosynchronous satellite. At the 2019 International Academy of Astronautics Planetary Defense Conference, Binzel predicted that more than 2 billion people in the Eastern Hemisphere would be able to view the close flyby of Apophis with the naked eye because of its brightness. There is no need to worry. Apophis has no plans to launch an attack on Earth anytime soon. Due to impending flybys, however, the asteroid is about to enter its scientific prime. In 2005, Binzel was part of a team that employed reconnaissance telescopes to observe Apophis and used color measurements and chemical analyses to determine the composition of the planet. Scientists concluded that the asteroid is composed mostly of stone and silicates, like ordinary chondrites, the most common sort of meteorite. Based on its composition, which includes metals like nickel and iron, NASA classifies Apophis as an S-type, stony type, asteroid. The asteroid is hypothesized to be elongated and lobe-like, resembling a rocky space peanut. Binzel stated that Apophis is a shard of an early solar system planetesimal that never accreted together to create a planet. It's possible this is a fragment of a larger asteroid that was shattered in a collision 4.6 billion years ago, and it's been sitting in the asteroid belt ever since. This collision could have propelled the Apophis fragment into its present orbit, which is quite close to Earth. The ancient Egyptian god of evil, Apophis, was the inspiration for the asteroid's Greek name in 2005. Even now, it poses a threat to Earth. In 2005, Astronomy magazine published a myth about a serpent named Apophis who dwelt in the underworld and plotted to devour the sun deity Ra whenever he passed across the sky at night. Why did scientists start worrying about Apophis? NASA reports that on June 19, 2004, astronomers Roy A. Tucker, David J. Thullum, and Fabrizio Bernardi were working at the Kitt Peak National Observatory in Arizona when they discovered Apophis. Asteroid 2004 MN4 was the official designation at the time. Due to technical issues and adverse weather, the team was only able to observe the new object for 2 days. Further sightings yielded a multitude of data about the asteroid very quickly. The excitement of scientists was quickly dampened when they calculated how close to Earth the space rock would come during Apophis orbit. Based on 2004 visual sightings, CNEO's researchers calculated a 2.7% chance of contact with Earth in 2029. The following year's worth of radar measurements helped fine-tune this probability. The Torino scale and the Palermo Technical Impact Danger Scale, both defined on the CLIO's website, rank Apophis as the most deadly asteroid despite these conservative estimations. By 2006, new estimates have all but eliminated the chance that Apophis will strike Earth in 2029. In particular, the consequences of the asteroid's flyby in the year 2068 could not be disregarded. The path Apophis takes after 2029 will depend on how Earth's gravity changes the asteroid's orbit, says Davide Farnokia, an astronomer at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, who is analyzing the asteroid's trajectory. According to an email exchange between Farnokia and Space.com, the asteroid Apophis would be on a collision course with Earth the next year if it passed through certain gravitational keyholes caused by Earth's gravity. Between 2015 and 2019, astronomers were unable to rule out a collision in 2068 because Apophis was too close to the Sun and obscured by its light. It seems the asteroid was determined to live up to its foreboding name. When the asteroid moved away from our star and became easier to observe, Farnokia and his team decided to tackle the problem head-on in the hopes of determining whether or not it would impact Earth in 2068. For his part, Farnokia said that JPS Center of Near-Earth Object Studies, CNEOS, computes high-precision trajectories and assesses the likelihood of future impacts for all known asteroids, a challenge he enthusiastically accepted in light of Apophis's arrival. Our very survival is dependent on it. For what reasons did scientists determine that Apophis posed no danger? It wasn't easy to get Apophis removed as a top priority threat by various space agencies. Using radar and optical monitoring data from late 2020 and early 2021, Farnokia and his colleagues reportedly calculated an exact trajectory for Apophis. The scientists combined the newly acquired data with years of painstaking study to better comprehend Apophis' route. Apophis has been under close observation by optical and radar observatories since its discovery, as observed by Farnokia. Because of the data gathered by astronomers from all across the world, the trajectory of Apophis during its upcoming flyby in April of 2029 may be accurately predicted. The team has determined that the impact of Apophis on Earth in 2029 will boost the asteroid's orbital period, the amount of time it takes to orbit the Sun, from 0.9 years to 1.2 years. The CNEOS team, utilizing data from 2020 and 2021 observations, was able to predict how close Apophis will get to the gravitational keyholes corresponding to potential impacts with Earth in both 2036 and 2068. Farnokia claims that the CNEOS group shared his pessimism about the likelihood of an effect occurring within the next century. And what if Apophis did hit Earth? It's tough to guess how much damage an asteroid like Apophis would do to Earth. There has never been anything like this in Earth's recorded history. There have been impactors of varying sizes, with the largest being the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs and carved out the Chicxulub crater 66 million years ago. Many factors, such as the asteroid's size, density, and mass as well as its striking angle and speed, contribute to the severity of the damage it causes when it crashes into Earth. At 340 meters in diameter, the outcome of an Apophis-scale contact with Earth is rather uncertain, according to Gareth Collins, a professor in the Department of Earth Science and Engineering at Imperial College London. Apophis and Earth impact simulations have been run, he said. Important factors include the size and speed of the object, as well as its precise destination. If the collision happens in the ocean, it might cause disastrous tsunamis, Collins told Space.com via email, but on land, much more dust is blasted. There's also the obvious problem of being so close to populated areas. Collins estimates that if Apophis were to hit Earth at the typical asteroid impact speed of 45,000 miles per hour, 72,000 kilometers per hour, it would release around 109 joules of energy, a 1 followed by 19 zeros. The entire explosive force of all nuclear weapons in the world, he said, is equivalent to this. The energy released was around 1 million times more than that of the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and 100,000 times greater than that of the Chelyabinsk meteor. Collins claims that densely populated areas and coastlines are the absolute worst places for an event of this scale to occur. The devastating side effects, such as extreme heat radiation, air shock waves, and violent earth-shaking, would have catastrophic consequences. Collins said, "Unless we can analyze the implications of an asteroid like Apophis hitting Earth, our program will remain a best guess and subject to enormous uncertainties." We learn more about asteroids and the threat they pose to Earth from these close approaches.